How's it going, guys? And welcome back to Retrospect, your go-to retro gaming podcast. You're listening to episode 32. Today we'll be talking about our favorite games of all time, and on the mics we have the retro king of Retro Dodo, Brandon Saltalamacchia.
How you doing? I'm excited. You know, this podcast is picking up now. I'm excited every Monday. I'm like, you know what? I'm kicking off the week with my favorite thing to do.
Talk about video games for 30 minutes. That's it. That's all you get in a day to talk about video games. How do you feel about being introduced as the retro king of Retro Dodo?
I think, I'll give you a little challenge. Every time you introduce me, I want it to be something different. Today's Retro King. Next week, I want some, just shoot your shot.
I'll just go through all of the different class elements of like the Renaissance, until you're down to the paupers, and that won't be very good, I guess, at that point. But we'll move through it. But yeah, man, how's life since we last podcasted a week ago? What's new? What's going on your side?
Busy things. Like, as people listen to this, a handheld history 88 to 95 would have been revealed. We would have been a couple weeks deep into the campaign. Hopefully we're funded now, fingers crossed. So I can imagine things are going to be picking up. Now currently we're prepping all of the material, getting the site ready, getting newsletters ready, all ready to push people's attention to this book. That's what I've been up to. Real busy.
Just doing business stuff, man. Being a businessman. Well, I'm sorry you've been so busy, or maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take it as good.
My week's been a little more leisurely. Not much going on. I went to the lake this weekend, though. Went to my brother and sister-in-law have a little lake house near us, and this was our first time going out there. So that was fun. But for anyone that's a parent, one thing that's you never really anticipate is a kid-proofed house versus a non-kid-proofed house, and the lake house is not kid-proof. So there was a lot of like chasing my son around, like preventing him from like falling down the stairs and like smashing his head into like everything. So
oh no,
it was.
How old is he?
He's like a year and a half, like a little over a year and a half.
They running? Is he running?
Yes, dude.
Like,
he's
stumbling.
Just absolute destruction. He is a maniac. So in one sense, it was great to see family. But on the other hand, it was not very relaxing. So I look
high
forward
stress levels, hey?
Yes, high stress only because we don't want him to die, so we're chasing him around. But other than that, it was good, man. It was good. Good weekend to get out.
Funny you say that. A couple of my friends have got young kids now. One's actually a year and a half as well. His name's Hugo, and we went round to watch the Formula One. So they bring their kids. I bring absolutely nothing because I don't have a kid yet. We were going to take Pippin. That's the closest. You
bring yourself, all right.
Yeah, and Hugo, the 1.5-year-old dude, he was just falling backwards and just he didn't even care, dude. He was just like letting himself fall back on the floor. Like they just bump and grind and
exactly.
Rip and claw.
They don't they're not aware yet of what can happen if they make the wrong steps, and they're learning that I think by running into everything. But it's just it's part of life, man. So I'm glad you've gotten to experience that. It's exciting stuff, right?
Scary, like you kind of just see him fall, and you just put out your foot for his head, and he'll run away and do it again. And you're like, oh god! And he's like climbing on top of like small, like big boxes, and just jumping on what he thinks is a pillow, and it's just a book. And then he's like, what the hell? This kid is crazy. Like, that's a book. He did have a brownie, like a little brownie. And Sam, his father, was like, you wait, he's gonna be crazy.
The sugar is real. I love the fact that you've already built up some reflexes. The dad reflex where you like catch him with your foot. That's a classic move. So you're doing great, man. You're doing great.
Thanks.
Well, hey guys, if you believe it or not, this is not a parenting podcast. This is a video game podcast. So real quick bit of housekeeping. We are sponsored by a handheld history 88 to 95. So Brandon, really quick, you mentioned it just a second ago. Just if you want to talk about that really quick for folks that don't know what it is.
Yep, a new premium coffee table book designed in collaboration with Lost in Cult. Our sponsor for the book is Retro Modding. They've helped us fund a majority of it, and it's basically a book dedicated to the handhelds of 88 to 95, the Game Gear, the Atari Lynx, and the Game Boy DMG. We dive into developers, community-driven posts, we look at accessories and games, all in 400 pages. This thing is thick. I think your child could jump on it and be pretty comfortable. Like the thickness and the amount of trees and stuff got into it. It's a beast.
It's a beast. It's so thick that a kid can jump on it and probably still hurt themselves. But regardless,
well, the book will be pristine.
Exactly. Well, yes, and I have a handheld history, the first edition that you guys released not too long ago, and it's a gorgeous book. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you are at all a fan of retro gaming stuff, handhelds, all that jazz. It's just beautiful. Also, check out retrododo.com. I saw a new A&EO 2 review go up recently. You have some guides on Metroid Prime and Remaster and Octopath Traveler 2. So you guys are cranking out the content over there. It's looking really good.
Yeah, thank you so much. The team's come together really good now. We're still looking for a video guy. But yeah, growing steadily and safely, the way I like it.
Safely. I saw the A&EO 2 review. You got that out. They finally pressured you enough. And you're like, all right, I got to do this. I got to just put this review up.
Yeah, bless them. I don't often do that to clients, leave them hanging. But unfortunately, just life got in the way with this one. And they kindly pushed me to get it out. So I did. Good.
Hey, life happens. That's part of it. So. And then last thing, tweet at us on Twitter if you guys want to. Brandon, you are at... What's your Twitter handle?
Brandon Salt, I think, is my personal one, or you can do retro_Dodo.
Okay. And then you can just tweet at me at bitblogist, BITBLOGGIST, to talk to us about the show and anything else you just want to shout at us. We're there for it. All right, well, let's move into the topic of the show. Our favorite games of all time. You like how I put a U there in the title, just in case?
Yeah, I saw that.
For spelling wise.
Yeah. I don't know why we do that. The British are, sometimes, I'll admit, sometimes we spell things the correct way. But the whole U in favorite and in color as well, Game Boy Color, we put a U. Just doesn't make sense. It
looks nice, though. It's fancy for sure. I think the U adds a little bit of oomph or a little emphasis to the word sometimes. So being that we are still rolling this out and you guys are maybe listening to this podcast for the first time, we thought it'd be fun to let you guys in a little bit in our lives. And you already have heard about parenting and all that jazz, but I think favorite games can really tell you a lot about somebody. And so we decided today to just really kind of gush about our favorite game, our single favorite game of all time. And so we have just two on here, but Brandon, you're first on the list. Do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first on this? What are you feeling?
Yeah, while we're here, I'll take this one. And I think a lot of people that have followed us for a long time will know that this is coming out. That this has been my favorite game and still is, and that is Pokemon. More specifically, Pokemon Red and Blue, because that is one of my first gaming memories ever. And, I can almost feel the adrenaline rushing through my blood as I talk about it. The memories of me sitting on my doorstep with my friends with a trading cable, trading Pokemon. It was just like I think a part of me does, when I think of Pokemon Blue and Red, I kind of think about the time in life as well. I somehow connect them both. I guess that's nostalgia in general, right? The emotion, you take the memory and you connect it with a period of time.
Right.
And Pokemon Red and Blue, I would say, changed my life, because if you look at where I am now, crafting Retro Dodo, me and you on a podcast, I don't think, if I didn't have a connection with Pokemon Red or Blue, or I somehow connected with something different, maybe it was football or cricket or something, I probably wouldn't be here now. So it's weird how a really strong nostalgic memory can craft a path for you throughout your life, and I feel Pokemon Red and Blue has done that. I think it was the first world I dived into that I understood through, I guess you could call it, through art, through music, through pixels, through collecting, through memories with friends. What made it magical for me, I don't know how to explain this. I was writing down in the notes, but I'll try and explain it as much as possible. It was a way for me to compete in a gaming sense by comparing, like, I had better Pokemon than a friend, or a friend had a rarer Pokemon than me, and I kind of had to hustle my way into trying to trade crayons and sweets for that Pokemon. Like, come on, man, give me. I got 3 bubble gums and a Pokemon card. Yeah, give me the Mew. Hand over the Mew. So it was a sense of bringing a digital world into my physical world when I was a child, I guess. And you could, plug in your trading cables and see the trade happen. And it was a magical way of bringing the digital world to a physical world and being able to take it with you. Like, partnering Pokemon with the Game Boy, it was just a phenomenal time to experience gaming wherever you wanted for an affordable price back then,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what how much did the Game Boy cost when it came out? Was it like $70, $80 or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe a little bit more, but I wanted to mention this because I thought about when you were talking. When Pokemon came out in the 90s, the internet really still wasn't a thing. Like, maybe for some people that had an internet connection, but really you had no idea how people were finding anything. And so, yeah, the playground was like the place to go to understand like what new things people had found in Pokemon. So you're always like talking to your friends like, oh, I went in this one cave and I saw this like huge like rock snake and like I caught this thing. And yeah, like there was all these rumors about how you could find Mew behind the truck. And there was just like a rumor mill essentially that you had to engage in. And it was so fun because you had no idea what was true or what was false. But that was like the best way to get knowledge, and now it's as easy as going on the internet being like how to find Pokemon, and there it is. But at that time, it really was such a community involved, like kind of, you had to talk to somebody like physically to like, hey, can you trade me this Pokemon, or how do you find this Pokemon? And you would just sit together on the playground and they would show you exactly where to go. And it was just such a magical experience. I don't know if that was the same for you, but yeah, the internet.
100%. If you wanted to get good at the game, you wanted to get the good Pokemon, or if you wanted to learn about cheats, there was no forum. There was no Google. You need to go to the playground and start talking to people and showing them, hey, I've got this rock snake Pokemon. I found it in this cave that I had to get Flash for. And you just get like 6 friends around like this little bench at school or out in the park trying to find this big ass snake Pokemon. It was just, now that I look back, and I think this is a great subject that you chose for this episode, it was just a truly magical place. And I don't know the same comparison as to that now. Maybe it's... Yeah, I don't know. There's no game that you have to physically be with someone to get things. Like,
yeah, I guess Street Pass was the last thing, like on the 3DS, where you had to be physically next to someone to trade something.
Yeah.
But I think a comparable experience, and I've talked about this, is Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was that one. It was kind of that on the internet level where people were getting different things on their islands and they had different recipes and they were posting them like, hey, I just found this like cutting board recipe, or I have this weird drawer thing that if you want it, here's the recipe for it. And so there was a lot of like community collaboration in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played a lot of Animal Crossing, but that's the closest I can think of more modern where it's like that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. Because Animal Crossing, you jump like you said, you jump into your friend's world, and you explore what they've done, where they're going.
Yep.
Yeah, truly magical. And the cheat side of things was always really exciting. When a friend would like show you 99 rare candies, you'd be like, "Whoa!" Like,
how did you do this?
Take the clothes off of my back. Give me a few of those rare candies, man. Like, take this new backpack that my mum just bought me and give me 3 rare candies, man. I'll give you anything. Take my sister, take my brother, whatever you want.
I can't grind this out. I need to level up my Blastoise right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I remember, like, did you learn the missing no trick? Was that like one thing that you picked up?
I remember a friend doing it, and I couldn't do it. So it was that amazing memory of being like, "Look at this! I found a missing no." And you'd be like, "What? Steve found a missing no? He's got. I always used to say he's got a fake copy, or like he's got a bootleg copy. That's not real. Steve, you're a liar. Apparently, it was real, and it is real.
Where did you get these accents from? Like there was a whole scene you just voice acted out right there.
My accent, because I'm based in the southwest of England, it very much did not sound like that. It was very farmer. All right, mate, Steve down the road found a missing no. I would trade him 4 potatoes for it, and it's broke my cartridge. That's how the kids sounded back then. Disgusting, I know.
What? What is reet beat? What is reet beat? I've never heard that before.
What did I say? I don't even know what I said.
You said reet beats so and so Steve found a missing no. I don't even know what that means, but I love it. Yeah, so I had an older brother, and he had friends who were also into Pokemon, and they taught me like all the secrets of Pokemon. So they showed me all this stuff, and like how to clone Pokemon, how to get 99 of whatever inventory item you wanted. So I did that all the time. I was kind of the plug at my school.
Oh, man.
If someone wanted to like level up their Pokemon, I would just they would send them to me, and I would get them to level 100 and send them back.
You were my Steve back in the day. I bet you had all the friends, man. You had all the potatoes.
Dude, so many potatoes. Because that's what kids were trading on the playground for sure.
Yeah.
Not like candy or gum or something like that. Yeah.
Potatoes.
Yeah, just potatoes. That is hilarious.
Oh, God. That's so funny.
So how would you sell this to someone who has never played? Like, how would you tell someone that they should play Pokemon Red today?
I think that one's quite a simple one. If you look at some of the biggest gaming franchises in the world, Pokemon is up there. I think it's a little below Mario. And they've sold something like close to 500 million copies of Pokemon games, which is a crazy amount of games. So just saying that, being like, hey, if you want to explore what kicked off this franchise, you need to go back into Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow and explore how it all started. It might be, a little slow. It might be different. It's based on three buttons, a D-pad, A and B. You got your start and select as well. So it's very basic. But I guess
all you need.
You could always go back to the newer remakes. They've got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, which was a remake of Yellow on the Switch. That was really good because that brings in Shiny's a totally new graphic system. But one of the best is Pokemon Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance. Just a bit more graphically enhanced and a few more extra perks and better sprites and stuff. So it's just go back to where it all began and understand where Pokemon came from. Yeah,
I would hope people would appreciate that. Like, just to get a reference, I have a buddy right now who also loves Pokemon, and I let him borrow my Mii Mini, actually. And I sent it over, and he's blasting through Pokemon Yellow right now. I have it on there, and it has like the fast forward function. He's like, it's so nice. I'm using the fast forward the entire time, so I can like speed through areas and just like, he's like, I've already almost beaten the game. I was like, oh, it's impressive. So yeah,
when you can that's just a great shout to like use it. So I think the best way to play Pokemon Red or even Fire Red is through a handheld emulator of some kind. Like making it pocketable is what made the game incredibly magical. Like the Mii Mini or the Mii Plus, which is out now. Like having all your Pokemon games in there is just magical. And obviously you can save states, load states, go back, fast forward. It's just great way of playing.
And like some modern enhancements too have come along. Like I've seen some people playing there's a procedurally generated Pokemon game. Have you seen this? Where like
is that like a ROM hack?
Yeah, it's a ROM hack, but it basically like will change up the levels, like different gyms, like it just kind of shifts them around per person based on like what game you're like different session you're playing. And I was like, it's a good idea. And everyone that's played it has been really impressed. They were like, this is probably the most excited I've been about a traditional Pokemon experience in a long time because of like just how new this feels compared to like
you'll have to send me that.
The regular formula. As a Pokemon fan, I feel like you would appreciate that. So I'll find what it's called and send it over to you. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'll get it over to you. I'll get it over.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And
what about you?
So for me, my favorite game of all time, and I've talked about this before, so I kind of waver or waffle between Pokemon and Super Mario 64. Both kind of released around the same time, actually. So maybe it was just like that era that really had a profound impact on me as well. But similar to you, I think I could have seen my life going two different paths. And it was a path where I hadn't seen Super Mario 64 and never played it. And it's a path where I did play it. And I'm on the path, obviously, where I did play it. And I'll never forget the first time that I saw it. So I think originally I had seen it in one of those kiosks. You know, you're like in the Toys R Us or whatever, and you see it, and you're like, oh my, like, is this even a real game? Like, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing on the TV. And then I took a trip to a beach with like my family, and my cousin had brought his N64 with a copy of Super Mario 64. And I remember just wanting to spend pretty much the entire time playing that game. Like, we were like going out to the beach and stuff, and like, I don't know, I was a good kid. My parents were like, come on, let's go outside. I'm like, okay, I'll go outside. But the entire time I was thinking about Mario 64. I was like, I got to get back inside. I got to play that game. Because like, I didn't have an N64 at the time, and I was just like astounded by what I had seen. So like, I don't know, to me, Mario does this very well still today. Like, Mario Odyssey, I think, is great. Another game like is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But exploration, or that sense of wonder, like, what does this do, or what's over here, that really all started, I feel like, with Mario 64, where like you were in this castle and you had no idea what you were doing, but this was the first fully realized like 3D game. So you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of walk wherever I want to walk to. I can go down this hallway, and there's a painting I can jump into. Like what is right. Like what does this all mean? And I remember just like, I think that type of game really speaks to me today still because of Mario 64. But it really like just opened my eyes. It opened my eyes to like everything else, and then I pretty much had to have an N64 after that. So I traded. I think I paid my friend on my cul-de-sac, like, we were about to move to Ohio, and I paid my friend $75 for his N64, 4 controllers, and like 7 or 8 games, you know?
Whoa, what a steal.
Yeah. So at the time, even that was a steal. But even today, thinking about all of that, I was like, ooh, man, that is nice. But yeah, bringing that game with me to Ohio when, you know, I basically was new, didn't have like a ton of friends yet, and I was just kind of sitting around. I was like, well, I have Mario 64 and all these N64 games that I can just rip. And it was good, man. It was a good time to game. I feel like anybody that experienced Mario 64 when it had first launched, I feel like we all have like a similar mindset in terms of sort of what is exciting about games and how nostalgia really, I guess, impacts our lives in that way. I don't know.
It's interesting because I was a Sega kid growing up, so we had the Sega Mega Drive. So I actually, weirdly enough, none of my friends had a Nintendo 64, which is crazy because everyone I speak to, everyone mentions the N64. I never actually got to experience the N64, which is crazy. I was more of a Mega Drive, get Sonic the Hedgehog, and then I jumped to the handhelds and Pokemon and so on. So I guess my question to you on that note is, how did the hardware create that experience for you? Because the N64, from what I can tell and what people have said, it's just it's like one of the best multiplayer consoles possible. And that controller is still weird to this day, you know.
I was going to say, like, are you saying the controller is super weird? Like, how in the world did you play that? Yeah, I mean, I think that was part of the draw, too. Like, the controller was so weird that you literally had to shift your hand between the middle stick, the joystick, or the outside, that it felt like you had multiple ways to play a game. And then, yeah, the multiplayer element was massive. I mean, Mario Kart 64, like that was a huge defining moment for that game as well, being able to play multiplayer battle mode or races against your friends. And then Smash Bros. I'm a huge Smash Bros. Fan. And that introduced me to a whole world of other Nintendo characters I had never heard of before, like Ness, Samus, Kirby. Like, these are all characters I had never really seen. And so I was like, wait, what are these characters? Like, they can like suck people up and take their powers. Like, it was just like a whole time where sleepovers were the best thing in the world, because all your friends would come over, or you'd go to their house, you'd bring your games over, you'd bring your expansion pack or memory card or whatever else, and Pokemon Stadium, when that came out, dude, being able to take your cartridge from your Game Boy and port your actual Pokemon into Pokemon Stadium to see them in 3D, like that was amazing.
I'm jealous.
I literally was like, couldn't believe what was happening, So yeah, I think if I could like go back in time and just experience Mario 64 or really just that whole era of 64 over again, man, I would do it. Just for like a day. Just for like a day though, My life's pretty good now.
I'm jealous. I had the similar experience with the Sega Mega Drive, but unfortunately, it didn't have the same multiplayer capabilities as the N64. There's probably a good reason why I quickly moved to handheld consoles from the Mega Drive. But yeah, the amount of stories I hear of people with the N64 kind of makes me jealous. It was probably the perfect console for that time.
I think so, man. I mean, and then you had other stuff coming out, like the PlayStation 1 was like shortly after that, and like that was a huge deal. I remember playing like Spyro and a few other games, and just like holy smokes, like these look so much better than the N64 now. And then now you look back at those graphics and you're like, these look terrible. These graphics are
what
trash.
am I looking at?
Yeah. And so like for me, like if I had to sell this game to someone today, I still think that this game holds up. They released it in the Mario 3D All-Stars collection on Switch, and I played it recently. I have the N64 wireless controller for the Switch, so I do think that's the best way to play it as well. But it just feels so good to platform in that game. Again, that was 3D platforming, like the first time really it had been done. And the camera angles are a bit wonky. It's a little weird, but it's kind of intentional because there's the way the camera is used to sort of hide certain things from you. So not everything is easily seen. There's like some secrets in how you look around. So like an example is when you walk into the castle, if you hit up on your C directional arrow, you can look up and then you'll be taken into like the flying cap world where you can fly around and get the flying cap to get into other levels and stuff like that. So I think it still works today. Definitely check it out on any service. I think 3D All-Stars, Nintendo Switch Online, they have it on there as well. You can play with the N64 controller. And then the Nintendo 3DS version, I don't know if you ever played that or not, Brandon.
Not the 3DS version, no.
But it was pretty cool. They brought in different characters. So you could play as, I think, Luigi. You could play as Wario. And then maybe somebody, I don't know if it was Toad or Peach. But you could play as different characters in that game. And they had mini games, and the textures were a bit updated, so it looked a little bit better. But that's a great way to play it if you want to check those out. But I would say easiest probably is the Switch. I don't know how easy it is to get your hands on a 3DS and a copy of that game today. Probably relatively easy, but not too bad.
I think the 3D All-Stars, have they stopped physical copies now? Or did I read that somewhere? It might be a myth. Because I got a copy of it, but I heard it was like limited run. I might be wrong.
It was a limited physical run. I think they're still selling it though. Like I'm looking on Amazon. Right. Okay, no, they're not actually selling it. It's $85 right now on Amazon, which is way too high. But they might be selling it digital. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, it was a limited run. But I think you could probably find a copy, or maybe just see if somebody has it. You can borrow it. That would be my suggestion, just to check it out. But yeah, that's it, man. I mean, I don't know, 64, Super Mario 64. That would be my answer, and one that everyone should check out. And it definitely still holds up today. So do your due diligence if you haven't played it, and check it out, because you'll understand more. You'll understand more. Yeah,
I like that we're both like, you're a Nintendo boy and I'm a kind of Sega boy. If we were both like absolute fans of the N64, the show would get boring real quick.
But it's so weird because you have so much crossover with Nintendo. I'm just like, how do you? I was like, yeah, man, that's it. So we probably should figure out a way to get a Nintendo 64 just sent to your house so you can just have one.
Yeah, the only way I play N64 games is through emulation. Actually, I do need to just go. Maybe Christmas I'll treat myself to just a real console with a few cartridges, and I want to play Pokemon Stadium for sure. That looks cool.
That's coming to NSO also, though. I think they're going to be adding that one pretty soon, or if they haven't already added it. I remember it was in that run out of like different titles they had coming to the Switch. So
Yeah.
maybe soon, maybe eventually.
Pokemon Snap as well. I think Pokemon Snap. It's Pokemon Snap's at 64, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, another game that I feel like you would like. Yeah, man, Pokemon Snaps. All right, well, let's go to topic number 2 real quick, Brandon. What's new in your life, or what are you playing right now, if you are playing anything?
Yeah, so I don't often buy new modern games, but on the weekend, Seb, our editor-in-chief, actually recommended I try out Hogwarts Legacy. As much as it's got a lot of criticism, I thought, you know what, I'll jump in. My partner Kate is obsessed with Harry Potter, and she forced me to purchase it as well. It was pretty expensive. On the PlayStation 5, $69.99. I think that's the norm now. The game, 70 quid.
$70. Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
So I pulled the trigger on it, and I've played maybe 5-6 hours, and it is a very incredible game. The world is big. One thing I struggle with new games, right, is I have the attention span of like a 10-year-old. It needs to grab my attention really quick and get me into like battle, combat, or something challenging pretty quickly. And Hogwarts Legacy does that okay. It kind of starts off with, hey, you need to go to class and study this. I fucking hate studying and going to classes. So me paying 70 quid to be told, you need to go to class. I was like, Kate, love, this ain't going to go down well. I just want to smash up goblins and, swing my wand around. But it moved into that quite quickly, which is good. And the world that they've built is incredible. So I'm going to be diving into that a little bit more.
Well, and they do a good job. Like, I know, like, so like every place that's in Hogwarts Legacy, it's one of those ones where you don't feel like you can actually walk into, but then like the door opens up. You're like, I'm so used to games kind of gating you out of places that they're just more there for decoration. And there's a lot. There's a lot that they threw into that game. Both good and bad. Like, it's very collectible heavy. Like, I think that's like one thing you'll notice as you get further in. There's just like tons of collectibles. But yeah, overall, I think like for them to have gone from like Cars, I think, right? Weren't they like making Cars 3, some sort of like Disney game, to making this? I think it's pretty impressive. Like, just the sense of scale and detail that's found in Hogwarts Legacy. And yeah, I think like it's unfortunately a very divisive game. I think rightfully so in a lot of ways. So I don't know. I've had fun with it. I'm not gotten very far either. I think I'm only about like 10 to 15 hours in, but I've had fun, and I'm playing on PS5 also. $70.
Nice. Yeah. and there's so many nods to the movie in the books. Like, I just went into Ollivanders, and I can't remember what the sweet shop was called. I went
it's all the same,
there,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think I chewed some bubblegum, which made me roar like a tiger or a lion, which was in the movie as well. So it's cool. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, the movie and the books, not so much the author, then I think you should check it out.
Yeah. For me, I am close to finishing Minish Cap, and I just picked up Metroid Prime Remastered. Ooh. I know I mentioned it last week that I was going to be diving into that next, and it's so good, man. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Have you? I think did I ask this last week? Did you play Metroid Prime Remastered?
It was. I was going to buy that or Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay. So the remaster. I mean, I've only played the first like few like minutes. I literally just jumped in, listened to the loading screen music, and then like started the first level. And I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be good.
This is
going to be
jam.
This is going to be some good stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to jump into that. But also, I don't know if you're a fan of movies, but I'm doing the Oscars. I'm doing like an Oscars watch through where I'm trying to watch all the Oscars movies right now. And so I have 3 left I got to watch before the Oscars happen. And yeah, I'm excited. We just watched The Fabelmans last night, which is about like Steven Spielberg and his whole like kind of rise to being a filmmaker, like in his like childhood. It's really good. It was a fun movie. It's sad at some parts, but yeah, overall really good. Would recommend.
Nice. I love a good movie. Love a good movie.
Love a good film. Love a good film. All right, well, y'all, that is all the time that we have this week. Brandon, thank you so much again for your time and talking about Pokemon.
I could do that all day, every day, Jake.
It is easy to talk about the games that we love. But listeners, what are your favorite games of all time? Please let us know. We want to know. Write into Brandon@retrododo.com to let us know. Or respond to our Q&A on Spotify, where we'll have those questions posted there, where you can also write in. But until then, we'll catch you in the next episode. Adios.
Ciao.